video now. Give me 30 seconds for mics.
Ring the intro.
When she says go.
Mike's hot in 3, 2.
Creativity Wasted is a podcast where 3 or 4 creative people each share an idea, such as a movie idea, app idea, or futuristic tech idea. The idea can be funny or serious, well thought out or improvised, realistic or ridiculous, but we'll always have fun talking and joking about it. I'm comedian Justin Sakarica.
And I'm comedian Ted Moss.
And I'm Alan Sheriff, content creator.
And this is Tom Walma. This is Creativity Wasted. Okay, who wants to go first with their idea?
Yeah, I'll go first. And I've actually, haven't been putting too much thought into this one, so like don't grill me too much, like just in case like I don't get it all down. But basically, this is what I've been thinking about for a while. So. I know a lot of people nowadays, they have a lot of trouble, trying to pick up girls and stuff like that when they go out to clubs.
Yeah,
Imagine going out with your friends. And I know, so imagine, a night where you're going out with your friends, it doesn't really matter what it is that, you really think, you're trying to do when you go out there. You could be trying to just go out there just to get wasted, or you could be trying to go out there just to dance. But let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, a guy's honestly trying to get laid. Am I right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. So usually these guys, they have a really hard time, trying to get the girl, or actually, no, we'll not use girl in this instance. It sounds kind of weird. Trying to get a woman. So the guy's just trying to get a woman,
All right.
So 9 times out of 10, this guy, it's like he's not going to get her if he doesn't at least have a great personality, a great physique, or a lot of money. Those are just the 3 main factors. If there are any other factors, anybody can just jump in and add any.
Good hair helps. Good hair helps a lot, especially if you're old. Yeah, good hair helps.
Being anything taller than 5'8" helps a lot too.
All right.
How tall are you? 5'8"?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm 5'6". Yeah, you definitely got to be tall.
Yeah.
All right.
But I guess we can just we can couple that with the physique. So you gotta look great.
Right.
But some of these guys out here, they just don't have any of these things. And sometimes it just seems like they may be going out there and they're just wasting their time. Especially the guys who try really hard, who don't really have any of those things. So I have an idea for an application that will be able to connect guys with these women at these clubs at any point in time.
All right.
I call it Club Ugly. So essentially, what's the app?
So I'm interested.
So essentially,
go ahead.
Yeah. I'll explain a little. So basically, what this app is going to be able to do is it's going to be able to connect, these guys, or rather girls. Girls could also use it. Women could also use the app as well. So women, will be able to connect with guys, in this app based on, the rating that they have within the app. So basically this app is it matches people based on the rating that people have received from previous people that they've met in the past at the club. So the app only works if you're at the club. So basically you can meet a person through the app, right? You put in some information, you probably put in your age, your name, a small little picture, a lot of basic stuff. And then you can meet with a person once you connect with them at a particular club. So, I guess the app will probably be tracking your location and stuff like that, but you finally get to meet up with the person. And then after you're done, talking with the person, having fun, doing whatever it is, after some time, you two both decide, that's it for the night. You two decide to split up, you go home. Right after that, you get the opportunity to rate that individual. One, based on their personality.
Rate a date.
And 2, based on how good they look. So enough of all that imaging stuff. A lot of people put a lot of filters on, their Instagram pictures, trying to make themselves look better.
Right.
They're trying to enhance photos from photographers and stuff like that. Enough of that stuff. This is going to be based off reality. You know what I mean? If you're not attractive, you're not attractive. It's on a scale of 1 to 10. That's how the rating system is going to work. If you're a 1, you're ugly. If you're 10, you're gorgeous.
So my thought is,
scale of 1 to 10. So it's Club Ugly. So, like I said, I'm still working on the blueprints, but that's just a little something that I got working up in the factory right now. So who's ready to invest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think, Tom?
I think I would have to find the darkest lighted club so that you can't see how ugly. You can't see the ugly, so I might get a higher rating. That was my first thought.
But it'd be nice to have the app to review other people before you meet them, don't you think?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I think the whole point of the club is to take swings out of your league, right? And the club is just
That's why they serve alcohol. Absolutely.
the app is like bypassing that. Like it's saying, don't even try to get this person that you're attracted to. Just it's helping you find the ugliest person in the room instead of the most attractive person.
Yeah, but the nice thing about the app is going in how everybody's rated this person.
It's very true.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
before you
true.
set the date, before you meet him at the club, you kind of know what you're going to run into.
So it's before you are on a date, so you know who you're going to meet at the club. You're not just meeting random people at the club. So
Exactly. It's like, I guess it's kind of like this. So, like, I mean, let's assume that you've never, like, used the app before at all, right? So, like, assuming that once you're done putting all of your information, you can immediately just get matched to a person who's just there, who probably hasn't used the app at all themselves.
Right.
So I'll probably say, like, over amount of time, like, based on the people who have met you and who've decided to rate you based on, like, your personality and the way you look and different types of stuff like that, that can become, like, average. So you can kind of like average that out.
I think
over
that's
time.
great.
You'll probably be able to get a definitive score, and then after that, people who are already like going to the club and like meeting other different people like through the app, they'll be able to judge you based on like the ratings that you have and whether or not you'd be a cool person to talk to. And if she's into you, she's into you, and if she's not, well, yeah.
I've used a lot of the dating apps. I mean, a lot of them. I've had up to a dozen going at one time before. Just I put the same profile on all of them, and I've met a lot of people over the last 5 years on dating apps. But I think he's onto something. I think this is a real deal, and it's kind of a way to review people that you've gone out with. Because I've had a lot of girls that show up and look like they ate the person in the picture. Like this was you, like 20 years ago.
They're taking pictures like this.
Absolutely, yeah. There's
a
reason for that angle.
Picture,
it's all neck up, and there's a reason for that. But in any case, I think it'd be great to have an app like he's talking about, where you get to review not only looks but personality, and then before you meet the next person, you could go to this other app and go, okay, have they been reviewed? And they've been reviewed by maybe 20 or 30 people, and then you can get the real deal. Instead of their profile, what they think about their looks and their personality, you hear what other people say. Like, yeah, they were up to par. They do this for prostitutes. I don't know if you know this.
It's like Yelp for dating.
Yeah. I wouldn't use that as a sales argument.
No. There's a website where you can go to for prostitutes, and it says she wasn't as good looking as she's advertised, not like the pictures, or these are the things. And you can do it for dating too. Like she's not as advertised, or she's better than advertised, or whatever. And they can do it for guys. Like, yeah, not so much. Kind of like that, but not really. I think it's a great idea. I think you could actually make that app and make money.
Now,
wow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, any criticisms? Because to be honest, like I don't know. I guess it was kind of pretty much like off the bat thing. Like I myself, I don't go like out to clubs all too much or anything. Like, I mean, I'll probably say like I only go out with my friends like to the clubs probably like once every like 3 weeks. Like I was just thinking about it for a second. And I was just like, if I'm going out to the club, and I really want to be able to like pick up a girl or anything, how do I make like the experience like a whole lot easier for me? So I guess I was just
you date people with disabilities is what you do. You date people that are blind.
Was that one of the sites that you...
Actually, yeah, there's a real site, and I've been on it called disabilitydating.com.
Oh, my God.
Well, honestly,
Oh, man.
who knew that I, too, was supposed to have a
my
disability?
God.
No, honestly, I used to have a deaf girlfriend, that was really deaf, and I'm okay with dating deaf girls, and that's where you're going to meet them. You're going to meet them on disabilitydating.com. Blind girls, even better. I do not have to be that good looking for blind girls.
Wait, how do blind people fill out the online app?
Oh, the Braille, dude. I don't know. I went through McDonald's the other day, and they said they have a new Braille menu. Who is that for? Who's going through McDonald's, and they're going, look we got a Braille menu, Grandma. Go on, order for yourself. Who does that?
That makes more sense to me.
Than dating blind girls?
Well,
Just because you're blind doesn't mean you're ugly. It doesn't mean that you don't have needs too.
I want to get off of the blind girl topic. So I haven't used Tinder. I'd imagine that Tinder, maybe behind the scenes, is judging you and sort of trying to hook. I don't know if it just shows you literally everybody in your neighborhood, or if it tries to match you up based on hotness.
No.
Ted
It's pretty
is
much just like
surfing through
so.
Tinder.
It's
right
pretty much
now.
like the difference between like what Tinder and like what this app would be is like Tinder. It's like, okay, you put your pick up, right, and it's just like, okay, you know, you basically get connected to like people that are like, well, they could be in your area. I mean,
Based on a
connects you based on,
visual
like,
that may or may
50%.
not be true. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
you
So
want
the
you want
visuals themselves-
truth.
Exactly.
The man's
So, like,
looking for
but
truth
with
in
this,
dating.
I guess it's pretty much just like, okay, like, you know, you have to meet the person, and you know, you can't really like, you can't really like judge them beforehand. You have to judge them after. You know, you have to figure everything out before you know go in for the rating or anything.
Right, but you share that with the next guy so he knows.
But-
Exactly.
My thought was Tinder and maybe some of the other apps have a silent algorithm to match people up based on how hot they are, whereas yours is like blunt, like you're a 2 out of 10.
No, I don't think there's any algorithm, dude.
It's gonna piss off everybody who doesn't get a good rating, and maybe it's
Well,
better
there-
to not tell people what their rating is and just sort of silently hook them up.
Wasn't there a website back in the day called Hot or Not? Does anybody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
remember?
That was
yeah.
actually Mark Zuckerberg.
Really?
Yeah, that
pre
was
Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And actually there is one dating site called Beautiful People where you have to submit a picture and they have to even vote you in before you can date people on Beautiful People. Because I went through the process. You got to put a picture up and they vote on you for like 4 days. And then at the end, if you get more than 50% yeses, you're on the site. Then you can talk to the other beautiful people.
Did you make it in?
You know what? I put up a
Wow.
picture.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
I put up a
same
picture
thing.
and I really didn't think about it that much. And it got voted on. And right at the 11th hour, I was right in the middle and I made it in. But it turned out I was the ugliest person on Beautiful People. I was the person that nobody wanted to
man.
talk to
Oh.
because they were like runway models and stuff. They were like LA people and New York hot women, and it's like
You were there to make them look even better.
Oh, they did. Standing next
Yeah.
to me, everybody had to swipe left on me. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'd
on Beautiful
imagine
People.
that
Oh man.
you might
was
make
not
it
good.
in under your age.
No, but no, it doesn't state your age. And I was the oldest person. I was at least 15 to 20 years older than the oldest person that I could find on Beautiful People.
Well, I mean, there's the gender difference. Like, I'd imagine there's a lot of rich old men on there.
No, it's
Well,
based
you're
on
not
beauty.
hooking up with a rich
It's-
old man.
no.
For the women, it's
No,
younger,
I looked up.
attractive.
Honestly, there was nobody over 50 on the whole site. They were all like models, like Hollywood
But what
star
about
models.
the dudes?
The dudes
Wow.
were the same way. Dudes were just like hot model men. They were like the guy GQ kind of model guys. It was not the website for me. I actually never met anybody off that site. Surprise, surprise.
How much did you pay to bribe your way in?
Nothing.
Bribe.
I didn't know
Slid
where
that one in there.
Ah,
I'm joking.
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's plenty of room for improvement in the dating apps. Yeah,
I think that's a good idea, though.
I think as soon as you rate somebody below a 6, they're just gonna say "fuck this." Like,
No, girls will date 6s. If you have a good personality, girls will date 6s. Girls are more about what
Yeah,
you say than how you look. Men,
well, they'll factor that into the
men
rating.
are more visual. Girls are more audible. Depends on what you say. If you're charming like you, Tom, you can get a lot of dates.
Okay.
And remember,
I think
it's
he's sitting on you.
also an app that helps like match you to people who
Yeah.
like get the same rating as you. do.
Yeah.
So girls can get rated as well.
Yeah, I'm a 4 looking to date a 4.5. That would be a move up for me.
Together, you guys become an 8.
You know?
There you go.
There you go. We're an 8 couple.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody in the room, let's give. Well, we're all dudes, and then Kate. But like,
Thanks for
what do you
acknowledging
think
that.
your
Thanks.
rating is? Like, what would my rating be? I don't. Ellen doesn't.
On
know
looks?
what I
Don't
look
put
like.
this on me.
On
I'm
looks?
out.
I have lost a little weight, but that's
You're probably a 6.
Yeah,
I'd go with a 6. You're
I'm
above
happy with
average.
that.
You're better looking than average.
and he would be a little higher.
Well,
7.
you know, he's a 7, but he's short, which takes him down to a 6.5.
Exactly,
Honestly,
yeah,
honestly, shortness hurts you in the
It
dating
does.
world.
It hurts
Yeah.
very bad.
I mean, you can be charming and good looking. If you're short, it's an uphill battle. It
Yeah.
really is.
It really is.
Now, if he was 6 foot,
You're not lying.
he'd be an 8.
For you, once you get your
Time to
age,
start
though,
wearing
being
platform
short
shoes.
is good because that way you're not dead.
Yeah. If you're vertical at my age, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, taller people don't live as long too.
Yeah.
That's what I
Like
was
Great
getting at.
Danes.
Yeah.
The bigger the dog, the less the life.
Yeah.
Anything to add on your idea, Elwin?
No, I mean, I pretty much just felt like an idea like this would kind of help, like, bring people who are, like, probably full of themselves when they go out to clubs, like, but down to earth.
There you go.
Just kind of, like, give them, like, a grip on reality. Oh, this is your rating, so these are the kinds of people you get matched up with. And it's, like, I guess in a way it could also help them, like, figure out, where their weaknesses lie. So if you have a terrible, like, rating on your personality, probably like a 4 or 5, you might want to improve that, and over time as you, like, go out more with your friends and just, like, talk to more different people, over time I guess you could really improve your rating. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you could
like,
have a
it
personality rating
might-
and a looks rating. So you could have you could have a
Exactly,
personality of a
exactly.
9 and then a looks of a 6, and people go, well, that'll work for me. I can average that out.
Do you know what I think would help some people with? Would be a really intelligent sex robot. People think that the
What?
sex robots are like the end goal. Like people will just abandon women, but sex robot could also be a training tool.
I'm
if
not-
it was. It could train,
That's
especially
just
like
not healthy.
But you want a really
Super.
intelligent one?
yeah,
Maybe
like
a really dumb one.
that could reject you, like a sex robot.
Oh my God!
that-
Being rejected by an
Right,
inanimate object.
yeah.
It doesn't get any lower than that.
it's,
I bought a car. It hates me.
Yeah.
it's programmed by like psychologists and stuff to be accurate, so the rejection doesn't sting as much, and it teaches you
Oh,
how
because
to.
because you think it's fair, you're not having sex. It's okay. Well, she
No,
doesn't want to. My wife didn't want to have
It's like
sex. but
training
you know what?
wheels for
I'm kind of an
dealing with
asshole, so
rejection
okay.
and all that stuff. But who wants to go next with their idea?
I'll go next if you want.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. The problem I have, and this is a real problem, the problem I've always had is I can't judge people's character, which is kind of along the same line. That I actually participated in an industry for 30 years of commercial construction where everybody's a liar. And everybody lies all the time because somebody's working with you on a massive project and you're talking to them about another project, and secretly they're working with somebody else and they're taking your bid information and feeding it. So everybody is lying to everybody continually. And because that's the norm, you don't judge people because of that. You go, that's just, well, he's just working me on that job because that was his strategy to be, successful on that job. So you end up with a personality and an understanding where you don't know how to judge people that they're not nice people. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to like public speaking, even as a child. And I remember lying at show and tell when I was like in first grade. My dad getting after me going, you shouldn't lie. If you lie, you get a white streak down your back. Now, it used to be a yellow streak down your back mean everybody knew you were a coward. But a white streak means you're a liar, and everybody's going to know you're a liar. So what he was telling me is you're getting a reputation as a liar, and people will know that when they see you because you've lied so much. So what I thought, to help me judge people, I think it'd be nice. I saw there was a watch, and it was kind of a band you put on your arm, but if you shook your arm real quick, it would display your phone on your forearm. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice on your forearm if you had a display of different test results you got for your personality? So if you took a battery test and you're like pretty much an asshole, it would say, well, on the asshole test, you're like a 50. And on the liar test, you're like a 10 or whatever. And so when you shake somebody's hand, it would cause your forearm to illuminate and you could judge people. Now, if you did something criminal, those are optional. You can take those tests or not. If you want to say, okay, I want to take the test on truthfulness, and you could have that appear every time you shook somebody's hand or they squeezed your hand. But if you did something criminal, then you would get a band around your wrist of a certain color, and it would always be there. So every time you shook somebody's hand, go, oh, I can see that, you're a thief, or I can see that you're a whatever, a rapist, or I can see that you're whatever. In this day and age where we have conversations with people and they disagree with you, and just because they disagree with you on one thing, all of a sudden they start saying, well, now you're a bigot and you're a racist and you're a homophobic and you're these things. I would like to be able to shake their hands and go, look at homophobic. I'm like a 0.2, dude. I'm not homophobic at all. And so you go in and take all these optional tests if you want, and they're displayed on your forearm. And then you have the bands that are for the legal things. So everybody can quickly identify what you are and what you aren't. And if they call you something, shake your hand and say, bullshit, here's what I am. And it's generally accepted that these are fair tests and they're batteries of tests in order to get displayed.
Will it work for fist bumps?
It could. It could.
Yeah, you'd have to have enough velocity to kind of like ping, turn the device on.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, but I think there should be a way for you to display, one, your social record, meaning your legal things that you've been convicted of or whatever, and two, the battery of tests. That way, for me, because I can hang out with somebody for a long time and they can do shitty things, and I go, they're probably just in a bad mood. Or I'm really, really forgiving. I don't assign that characteristic to that person. I go, he just had a bad day, or the circumstance just made him do that. And I can be buddies with people for years and not realize they're really assholes. And if they just had something displayed, I go, oh, they're fucking assholes. And I know right off the bat. It'd be a lot easier on me.
So
it's a good idea, huh?
Let's say, so if you're a criminal, you still have to volunteer to sign up.
No. You're a criminal, you get a band.
Once and that band is just there convicted, forever.
They could make it so the band fades over time if they wanted to. But here's what I believe. I believe you should always forgive, but never forget. And people think you got to forget things in order to forgive, and I think that's wrong. I think you people can do something mean to you, and if they do something mean, shame on them. If they do it twice, shame on you for not knowing they're that kind of person. But I'm the kind of person who would figure that out, that, oh, shit, this is what they're going to do. So that way you can say, oh, I know to be aware of you, that you have this issue, that you're kind of a bigot, or you're kind of a sexist, or you're kind of an ageist, or whatever, because you've been convicted of that, a crime in that elk. And so I'm going to be aware of that right up front because you're wearing the band.
And also everybody in the general area who's close enough to see you when you shake.
Well, it's like having a reputation. Like if I'm around a bunch of people that know me, they kind of know, well, Ted did this 5 years ago and 4 years, and I know he's kind of a good guy in this area and kind of an asshole in that area. This way, it's public knowledge. So you meet somebody and boom, right off the bat, you know what kind of person they are because you can fist bump them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and know who they are.
Now, wouldn't there be some sort of a loophole for germaphobes? Because you would want to find out they're a germaphobe, but you can't shake their hand because you're not going to know.
Yeah, you're just throwing rocks at their fist or something. Yeah, pelting them with something.
Or getting
hoping they bump into the wall. I don't know.
I'm thinking slap you or something, and there you go.
If somebody's a germaphobe, you're going to think that they're a criminal trying to not shake people.
Well, well, you're very right.
I think maybe the criminal record ones banned should show up all the time, like tattoos. And then the personality tests that you've opted for, those are based on the fist bump.
Now, if I was a criminal and I couldn't
You'd wear long
chop
sleeves?
off my arms.
Yeah. Then they put it on your forehead, dude. I don't know. I chop
Just
off
go
my
around
arms.
and
Yeah, I'm a
headbutt
thief,
people.
so I'm going to chop off both my hands now. Good.
Not
You're
only
no longer
do I
a
get
thief.
the sympathy for being handicapped.
See, I already
I
see something like this happening in the future. Like, this
Yeah.
is so, like, futuristic. Like, I
Yeah.
can definitely see, like, people, like, taking this and just implementing this, like, on a larger scale. We're definitely going to be able to, like, know who people are. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of people are going to protest this. Like, this is going to be crazy. Like, people are going to go crazy in the streets. Oh, I don't want this.
Well, you don't have
to
do it unless it's a crime.
Kind of like those. What are they making people do nowadays? Like, they're hanging up those. For like child molesters, right? So like you don't necessarily know who like the child molester.
Oh, in your neighborhood locations, like they live in your neighborhood. I think that's fine. I have no problem. I think if you do the crime, man, people should know that you did the crime.
Just imagine though when people are able to hack this. and alter their like. I have a giant dick, huh?
All
You
right,
see that?
yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're going to have a penis test you can take. It's been verified. I have a huge one.
Yeah,
And it's
like
on
what?
your forearm.
Like a
Above
meter
my
will go.
arm.
Yeah, it'll go up your arm to a certain point.
Yeah.
Now, what's the end game in line about that? It's
And about your size of your dick?
I mean, she's gonna find out eventually.
Dude, yeah, I mean, they only can take so much. So it doesn't matter. I mean, beyond a certain size, it doesn't matter. Once you hit bottom,
where alcohol comes
then
in.
it's just pain. It's just pain after
Okay.
that.
Um,
But that way, I actually really dislike it now that I run into people and we start talking about politics or something. And I'll say something and it doesn't agree with them. And all of a sudden, I'm getting called all these names that don't reflect me or my background at all. And I would like some way that I can verify this is who I am. Whether you like it or not, this is who I am, good and bad. Because I'm not ashamed of who I am. But people nowadays are getting in these little clans. And if you aren't exactly aligned with them, they go, if they can't beat you on logic, they go after your character. And I don't like that, quite frankly. I think that's bullshit.
don't you think this is just gonna make it worse?
No, you can reveal who you are. You can say, bullshit, I'm not. I'm really not. Here.
I don't know. I think I'm a guy that people see as a little creepy.
You are a little creepy, Tom.
So maybe this would be good for me.
Not threatening, creepy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're kind of a geek with a very dark sense of humor, which is a weird combination,
Really?
Yeah, mailbox, head in the mailbox. Yeah, dude. That's kind of creepy.
You are wearing a shirt with weapons on it, dude.
Is that a weapon?
There's
those are
several,
multi-weapons
several, yeah.
in the shape of a teardrop.
And that's why I want you on my side. By the way, awesome podcast, Tom.
Yeah.
Wait, it's for a charity of some sort. What does it say on the back?
It says, Dirty Water Kills. It's Dirty Water Kills. I don't know.
Yeah, it's some charity that I didn't donate to, but I somehow ended up with the
So
T-shirt.
it must have been for Flint or something, maybe. Dirty Water Kills.
By the way,
Oh, God.
I have the solution for the Flint water crisis.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I'm interested. Do you know my grandfather was the director of public works for the city of Flint when they built the water facility? And when you walk in, his name, and I'm named after him, is right on the plaque as you walk into the Flint water plant. Damn proud of that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to be proud of.
Yeah, I am.
But he did retire long before the Flint water thing.
He died long. I mean, yeah. I'm old. Remember that? I'm old.
Yeah.
And he would be much older. He'd be.
But I wanted to point that out to the
Yeah.
audience.
Should make sure they put a
Yeah.
put a date on the plaque.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, it was like 1940, dude, when they built the plant. So.
Yeah, you could have a thing on your arm that says, "I am not responsible for the
Yeah.
Flint
The
water."
Flint
Yeah,
water.
make sure they mention that, like a little
Yeah.
sub plaque.
Yeah.
like-
By the way, this is not the
Not the guy.
not the
Not
Ted
the guy.
Moss that's alive now. Not even the son of the guy. So
Yeah, that's a weird thing that you run into too.
So
Just
how-
having the same name as somebody else. Who,
it is.
Like-
Well, my son's Ted, my dad's Ted, my grandfather's Ted. That's just the way it runs. So, hey, what's your solution to the Flint water problem?
So I have an idea for a future. This isn't my idea. I'm going to try to go through it really quickly. So I have an idea for a futuristic house where everything is wheeled in and out by Roomba style robots.
What's Roomba?
A Roomba is a robot vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the Amazon in their factories has a Roomba-like
Okay.
robot
Delivery
with like
system,
a car
yeah.
jack on the top of it.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So it picks things up and wheels it around.
Right.
And so my idea is a house where nothing sits in the house. You just wheel in everything in and out all the time, and you order things by an app. So your house doesn't need you wheel in and out your clothes when you want to
Oh,
dress, and the factory will wash your clothes and send them back. And
Yeah.
you wheel in and out a toilet, so you don't need a toilet constantly in your
Oh.
house. And it'll clean the toilet for you, so you don't have to wash the toilet. And so in the end, you don't even need plumbing. Like everything is just wheeled in and out all the time. So everything.
so you're living in an empty box, basically.
well, you can
With
keep
a
things
chair.
in there if you want.
Yeah.
Like you can keep the toilet. Like after you shit, it wheels out the toilet.
Right.
Cleans
What do
it,
they call that?
Brings it back, and it sits there.
What do they
ready
call
to-
that
for
system in
use.
manufacturing? Don't they call it the right now
Just
system?
in time.
Just in time. So you want a just in time house with all the all the facilities,
Including plumbing, like
plumbing and food and cooked goods, and I mean, does a kitchen oven wheel in, or
Why
does
would
a
you
dinner
cook?
wheel in?
you can just order
Wheel in
your
turkey.
food and
Yeah.
Now, would everything have to be on
Like,
the first
you can
floor?
wheel in anything. Like, wow. Like, you
So,
get, like, if
yeah,
I
so
wanted to wheel
plumbing
in, like,
doesn't
a new
matter
family,
anymore,
like a new
basically.
wife.
That
you
solves
know,
Yeah,
that,
a new
like,
wife. He
how
wants to wheel in a wife or a deaf girlfriend. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, I don't want to dwell on that too long, but it does solve the Flint water crisis.
How does that solve the crisis?
Because you don't need plumbing. You just
You still got to
everything's
bring
connected.
water in. The water's got to come from somewhere.
But
Where are
everything's
you
connected
loading?
to
Where are you
the
filling
shipping
up the
grid.
water? Where are you filling up the water?
You're just constantly ordering things online from Amazon, and everything's
The water's come from the best water place instead of the worst water place.
everything's coming through the shipping grid on roads, including the water that you use for plumbing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's
So,
coming, and they're
You
going to
don't
have
need pipes. We don't need. Our government is so bad in our country that we can't rely on it for infrastructure anymore.
I don't think we're supposed to only
like
highways,
pipes.
only interstate highways are we supposed to rely on the government
Exactly.
for. Yeah.
Like,
not
like
for
like city
not-
pipes. We can't trust the government to run city pipes.
Oh.
It's too incompetent.
the water system shouldn't be
The
taken away.
government is just fails at everything. We
Yeah,
can't
but
rely
have you ever
on
tried
it
to take
for
a shower in
pipes
bottled
or-
water, dude? That's really a bitch.
Well-
Water does not pour up. It's hard to get your armpits if you're
Well-
taking a with bottled water shower.
Have you ever seen in like this? I guess this has become my idea for this episode. Haven't you ever seen like the Sky Mall? They have like these outdoor shower things where it's like a giant, like you know, if you're in a hospital, they have those saline bottles.
Yeah.
it's like a giant one of those hung at the top of the shower that
Oh.
has water in it. So it'd be like that. It'd just wheel in the water.
My mother used to have a red one of those with a long tube in the shower that hung out like that. I don't think she,
She
showered
just
in it.
showered in blood.
No, it was, I think it was.
Oh,
I think it's
man.
called a douchebag, dude. I think,
Oh, okay. That's what you're getting at.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. I don't know. It's not my fault. It was there. Gonna shower with a douchebag. All right.
Okay,
Good idea.
so where were we? Whose idea were we on?
We just did in mine. I think with the personality traits on your arm.
Yeah,
So
I
we
don't
ended
like
that.
it.
You don't like that?
No.
No.
Well, I mean,
You don't want to be able to judge people a little bit more accurately when you meet them.
I don't know if I want to see all the bad in people who I'm just like walking by.
Well, you don't. Well, the
And, like-
criminals, it'd be good to know as they're walking by.
I
And the
mean-
other stuff, you got to bump them to find or shake their hand to find out.
I think it'd be better on like Google Glass. Like it'll just broadcast it on your eyeball, so they don't need to see that you see that they're a criminal. Like it's,
Well, no-
it's more subtle and it's not as like blunt like out there.
I don't mind. You know what? They used to brand criminals way back when. They used to say, okay.
So
if
you want to
it's-
bring that back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's a brand that can fade away if they choose to. They can say, okay, you stole something, you're a thief, your penalty is you're going to have this ring on your wrist, but it's going to fade over the next year. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But I have a hard time. Like, I've known you for what, 5 years? Which comedy class were we in, the first one or second one? Were we in the Bill Bouchard?
I did both.
Was I with you? And I was with you. in
I
one
don't
more.
remember.
So
Probably
I've
the
known you
first
for
one.
4 or 5 years, whatever. I have no idea if you're a nice guy or not because I can't judge
No,
people.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're a little weird, but I don't know if you're nice.
I'm what you'd call disagreeable. Like I don't like beat people up.
That's
but I will like say
Adversarial?
blunt things. Like,
yeah.
Too honest type of things.
That's a male trait. Do you ever listen to Jordan Peterson? He says that male are more disagreeable than females. That being a man has to do with being disagreeable, and that's kind of a male trait, and that's kind of a good thing to be disagreeable. Not good if you're taking care of children, as you've stated in our last podcast together that you're not really set for that. But
The baby boarding houses.
yeah.
Baby boarding houses. Wow, I got to listen to that
yeah.
one.
I mean,
So
I
you're
could see
against it.
something like that happening, but I think it's sort of, first of all, it relies on like the legal system or like some app company like Facebook, like keeping track of people. He brought up the hacker thing earlier. I don't know. I think
Well, the personality stuff was all voluntary.
A
You can
little
go in
bit
for
of-
testing if you want to. You don't have to. But the criminal stuff is mandatory.
I don't know, but like there'll be a lot of peer pressure to do the personality part.
No, I don't think
But
so.
I think most of the personality stuff is also pseudoscience crap. Like, oh, you're like the
I
four
think all
degrees
that
of
stuff can be
personality.
optional. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
optional. But the
Yeah, that
criminal
could be
stuff, I definitely know that's going to happen in the future.
Well, you know,
like,
it-
definitely. Like people are going to want to like make society a
Right.
whole lot safer.
Right.
There's just yeah.
But
Right.
like in China, they're starting to have like a rating system of people. Like, and you can't like travel, you can't like buy shit at certain places if your rating is bad.
Well, what you don't.
This is basically the same
Well,
thing.
no, what you don't want to do is let them chip you, because eventually they are going to want to chip you.
How is this better?
This is just so people will know your personality characteristics are, that you volunteer to share. That's how it's better. Yeah, because I want to show people, how I am about, I'm not an ageist or sexist or racist or whatever. I can go in and take the battery test. Now, it could be good or bad battery test as long as it's pretty involved, and everybody understands that's the battery of tests. And if they say I don't believe that battery of tests, that's fine. They can
Do you
reject
get
it.
to like retake it?
Sure, if you want to
Like,
over time. Sure.
You take it one day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm a total sexist pig. Tomorrow I'll retake it with the better answers.
Yeah, or maybe it has to do with your personal behaviors too. Maybe you have to come in with anecdotal stories that you can justify. Who knows? But I think it'd be nice for me to be able to understand who I'm dealing with if they had something visual I could see.
So what if on your wrist it says that you're like 50% liar? Can you believe the other stuff on your wrist at that point?
Good point. Yeah. If 50% of this stuff is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Very
You're
good.
like, I don't know about that. Yeah.
I don't believe in the rest of that. He lied on everything else. Yeah.
I guess
that's terrible.
we're back to the blind dating.
Yeah,
like,
dating only blind people.
If it's,
yeah.
it's
It's so
broadcast
bad.
criminal,
It's so
criminal,
bad.
criminal on your
Yeah.
wrist,
I'm only
then
on disability.
the blind person can't see that.
Right.
So
That's
you're all set.
perfect. Oh, that's perfect.
you ready with your idea?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one thing that I've been noticing a lot recently are absolutely ridiculous food trends. And I thought of an absolutely ridiculous idea that I think some people would actually spend money on, and I would sit back laughing as I got rich. I would like to open a restaurant called the Second Chance Cafe that serves only leftovers.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Only leftovers.
I think that's great. Some food is better as leftovers.
Exactly. Like, for example, you could have what I call college party pizza, aged wonderfully on the countertop for 6 hours
Yeah.
before being put in the oven for another 3.
Yeah.
Or
So there's different definitions of leftovers. One is it was actually on someone else's plate.
you could choose that. You can pay more money for that. Higher end.
Yes.
It'd be higher end leftovers.
Yes.
And like you could actually have like the Thanksgiving dinner, like turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, and yams all jammed together on a paper plate with a wrinkly foil piece put half over it.
There you go. Restaurants would love this.
Oh,
if you have some kind of restaurant that serves off a kind of a cafeteria style, at the end of the day, all this used food, and just say it's used food. They do it anyhow. They're
Yeah.
making steaks and then turn into stew the next
Exactly.
day. Yeah, at least you're eating leftovers.
Exactly, because some food, admittedly, is better left over. I think a lot of Italian food, for some reason, is better left over, like grandma's lasagna or whatnot. And again, on the description, they could make it sound real fancy when really you're getting day-old food.
Yeah.
But people, I honestly think, would be stupid enough to pay for that idea.
Oh, I like that. I'm totally eating
But
there
do you
every
really
day.
think like people would enjoy that?
You know
like,
what? There have been so many other ridiculous trends out there. Yeah, I think there are some people who would actually say, you know what? I would love to go eat some old Italian lady's lasagna that she made 2 days ago.
I think that'd be great.
I think
It's
people.
different. Yeah, it's different. The food might have taken on like maybe like a different taste over time or something.
yeah.
That's something that
A
people
little
might
tainted.
look forward
Yeah.
to.
I think people would also really enjoy donating food to this service.
They would.
Like their leftovers are gonna get enjoyed by somebody.
You got to be careful, though. You don't know what people
Yeah.
have done to their food if it's just coming from any source whatsoever. I think you got to have, people that are vetted.
like a rating system.
I
in
would
an
not
app.
take your leftover food, Tom. As much as I like you, I would not trust you.
Well, I don't cook.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think people would honestly buy into this. Just because every couple of years, there's always that really stupid food idea that people are into, and then, it would fade out.
What's your favorite leftover food? What food do you go, this is really better the next day?
Honestly, I would either say Chinese food or Italian food.
Oh, Chinese is hard because you got to warm it in a pan. You can't microwave Chinese to have it good. Right?
Exactly, and it would be expertly warmed in a pan,
Yeah, but the
by
what the
some
pea
guy in his
pods
underwear
get
in the
soft.
kitchen.
Pea pods get a little soft if
That's
you
true.
rewarm them.
You could pay extra to have those removed. And for the drinks, It could be like the last sip of milk in the gallon, because, we all do that.
Ah.
We all drink just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Yeah.
And leave it in there, and they'd come out to you with like a little shot glass and charge you $10
Yeah.
for a little sip of Pepsi or milk, and
Yeah.
people would pay it. I swear to God, they would.
A best buddy of mine I used to travel with a little bit. We used to ride motorcycles together and go on trips. He used to have this habit where he would take your last bite of food off your plate. And you know how you kind of time your food, like I'm going to eat so many fries, so much burger, and you just got to kind of, and you're savoring that one last bite. He'd reach over and grab that last bite and throw it in his mouth.
Would he
I'm like,
stare at you in the eyes?
and laugh
as
at
he
it.
ate it?
Yeah, and I'm like, that is really cold.
And you call him your best friend? Good
I like
Lord.
this guy.
It was cold. And I'd go like, I just ate all the way around it. He's like, I don't care. It was really good, dude. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
But he's doing it to be funny, right?
He's going to be an asshole is what he's doing. He's
But you
like,
know what, though?
He's just doing it.
That does mean he's your best friend, because only your best friends will be assholes to you.
Yeah, and
That's
try to
honestly not
dominate
true.
you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm going to dominate you by I'm finishing that food. You know that last bite of cake? It ain't yours. I'm taking it. And once he takes it, what can you do? You're like shit out of luck. You're like, oh,
Exactly.
that's over. Shit. And you are unfulfilled. It's like kind of having sex and going, oh, we're done. Like, what? We are not done.
Yep.
I know when we're done. We are not done.
Oh, yeah, but I do think that it would be a good idea. Now, what are some foods that you think would not work good as leftovers?
Donuts.
Donuts?
Yeah.
They got to be fresh.
Yeah, donut. Day
Definitely,
old donuts.
definitely McDonald's food.
Oh, yeah, that
Like-
takes on a whole different biology in like 3 hours.
You know what? I
French
saw
fries.
a sign talking about fast food leftover. I saw a sign, swear to God, at Burger King on the drive-through speaker where you order, saying they had a recall on cookies. I thought, who the hell is buying fast food cookies, taking home, storing them, and then coming back through the drive-through to buy more food? Going, I'm glad you showed me that. I got a whole bunch. I'm storing it. Who is storing fast food cookies?
The same people who would eat at the Second Chance Cafe. The same people. See? $1 million idea.
It is.
$1 million idea.
Yes.
What you could do is people drop off food. You give the good stuff to a homeless shelter to serve to the homeless
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
And then the stuff that isn't good enough for the homeless people.
You charge the
This
rich
is what you
bastards.
d- yeah.
Yeah. And you give it that.
Yeah, I actually believe they're already doing something like this at my college. They're basically taking like all of the leftover like college food that the students don't want. They're putting them in the bins and stuff like that, and I think they're giving it to the homeless shelters.
I think they are.
Which is a good thing.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
a
it
good
is.
thing. But then for those rich bastards who want to pay top dollar for the newest trend, you come to the Second
Yeah.
Chance Cafe.
Have some leftover ramen noodles from the college students. It's always yummy.
Whoa, ramen noodles. That's
Yeah.
a different story.
Yep.
Actually, that's what grocery stores do. The food is that, you know how they all have these restaurants now in the grocery stores? It's because the chicken is getting dated. They got to cook the chicken or throw it away. Nobody's bought the chicken. So what do? They cook it, and then they can serve it for a number of days still. So you got a restaurant in your grocery store.
That's a good idea.
I actually would shop there. I would order your food.
See, I'm telling you, it's a $1 million idea.
Now let's say you're like me. I don't know how to cook. I half-ass want to learn how to cook, but not really. So you when you get food from your cafe, not only does it serve the food, it gives you the recipe for the food.
Exactly. Put it in the microwave, hit 2 minutes.
Oh, how to heat it back up. The
Yeah.
proper heating method
Like most
of the leftover.
Yes.
Will it be like all in a little baggies or something when it shows up?
It,
It's
it
like-
depends on the food. Like, again, for the Thanksgiving dinner, it's got to be a paper plate with foil sloppily put over it.
Yeah.
If it's any kind of pasta, it's got to be in your grandma's glass Tupperware bin with moisture on the inside. You know, if it's a pizza box, it's got to be a pizza box with some paper towel used in there next to it, because
It's got to be authentic.
Yes, authentic,
Yeah, authentic leftover.
authentic
The way it would
yes.
be if you were living on campus.
Absolutely.
would there be cigarette ash?
Yeah, exactly.
If
Little
you
puke
wanted it,
on the
yes.
side of the cardboard on the, over there. All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pass on the puke piece of.
The more authentic, the
The more it costs?
the more it costs. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, in seriousness, it could be a way to try lots of different recipes cheaply.
That's very true. Yeah.
I remember when I worked in Steamboat Springs, I was at a restaurant. It was a pizzeria. and I worked doing dishes, and they did not feed you, and they paid you very little. And I remember when the leftover pizza would come in off the tables, and I had to throw this pizza away, I'd look very carefully to see if they had cigarette ashes or anything in it. And if I was hungry, I would eat the leftover food as it came into the kitchen while I'm washing the dishes. I was broke. It was a good source of food for me.
Telling you, man, leftovers, there's money in leftovers.
Yeah, and that was only leftover from a half an hour, too, so that was good for me.
I think you'd run into a problem, though. Like, people aren't going to drop off, like, pizza or, like, a small amount of leftovers. But what'll happen is, like, holidays, you'll just get overflowed with leftovers.
Yep, and you could put it in a bag, a big Ziploc bag, put it in the back of the freezer for 3 months, and go from there.
You know, for over 20 years, I cooked for over 20 people Thanksgiving dinner by myself. I used to do all the grocery shopping and all the cooking, and we had tons of leftovers. You know, I'd make like a 24-pound turkey, just all homemade dressing, all this stuff. And then when people left, we'd divide it all up and give everybody leftovers to take home.
Well, if you have tons of leftovers and you're doing it for 20 years, on year 2, wouldn't you just make less food?
Well, the problem is you don't know how much people are going to eat, and you don't want them showing up for Thanksgiving dinner.
But it's
and
like the same people every year,
okay,
isn't it?
here-
Exactly.
For the most part.
Okay, well, here's a puzzle for you. Say you're going to go to a banquet, and everybody's supposed to bring a plate to pass, something to share, and you have to bring something you made, and there's going to be 30 people. How many servings do you bring?
Well, I don't cook shit,
Well,
so
think.
I don't know.
How many servings? You got to bring something. How many? If you're going to bring enough, whatever.
You should always bring more than what you need.
How much do you think you should bring if you're sharing with a group of 30 people? How many servings? Do you bring 1 serving? Do you bring 30? How many servings do you bring?
I don't know, 20.
Okay, the correct answer, believe it or not, the correct answer is how many servings do people each put on their plate? And if you only take 6 portions of things, you only have to bring 6 servings, and then you'd end up with no leftovers. Anything over 6 or 7 is going to be left over, unless it's a popular dish. And if it's a popular dish, you won't have as much, but the people that brought unpopular dishes are going to have more. Because you only have to bring enough to feed 1 person if everybody brings a dish. So 30 people, 50 people, doesn't matter. You only bring 6, enough to feed 6 people. That's the correct amount.
Yeah, I just bring, like, chips.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the chip guy.
Yeah.
You're the chip guy.
All right. I had a sister-in-law that was the wine girl. Like, everybody's bringing a dish to pass homemade, and I'll get some wine.
Yeah, I tried once. We had, Zingerman's Deli in Ann Arbor.
Oh, my God. I love Zingerman's.
High-end
Yeah.
Love Zingerman's.
food. I spent, like, $100 or $80 on, like, these Zingerman cakes. They're, like, chocolate cakes, but they're pretty small, so I
Personal
ordered
cakes.
like
Right.
3 of them.
Right.
I think they were like 20-ish a piece.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite $100, but nobody cared.
Really?
Like super high end.
Really?
Like
For
so
Halloween
why
one
not chips?
Yeah, for Halloween one year, I went out and bought the full-size candy bars. And I actually was running out, so I had to go back to Walmart. And as you go through the line, the cashier line, those big boxes of candy bars, I just literally grabbed those boxes and put them up there and bought those so I could give the kids, instead of the little dinky candy bars, these great big full-size candy bars. I thought that was kind of cool.
As a kid, I always appreciated going to the houses that gave out full-size candy bars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
our subdivision,
I
it got
love
so
those.
bad,
Yeah.
though, where people were coming in because they knew in this subdivision you get better treats. And they're busting their kids in. We're going to go to this neighborhood where we get the big candy bars
Yeah,
instead of
that's
our
where
neighborhood.
Ted Moss lives.
Yeah, he gives out the
Exactly.
big
The
The
candy
guy with
bars.
the big candy bars and the good hair.
I shut off the lights
Yeah. Do
so
ya?
kids don't come to the door.
Yeah.
I pass candy out. I mean, I didn't used to, but now I've got a lot of kids in my neighborhood, so I pass candy
See,
out.
I don't have that many houses anymore. I kind of live out in the middle of the woods or whatever. But I like that advertisement for Reese's cups right now that's on TV. It said, you buy these for Halloween, and then you turn off the lights, because I love Reese's cups. I wouldn't want to share them with the kids.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
live in
usually you could just leave like bowls of candy like outside the concrete steps, but even then, like,
Oh,
dude, that
comes
does
issues
not work.
because you
I-
always
First
got
kids
to
does
Yeah.
not work.
The
I
first
did
kid's
that.
like, jackpot, boom.
That happened. Honest to God, I
Exactly.
did that one year, and I left it out there. That's exactly what happened.
You'd be lucky if the bowl was still there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? And then those get a little tattoo on their wrist, and we know who they are.
Ah, the handshake.
Yeah, there you go.
Going
yeah,
back, yes.
yeah. They're
There you
criminals,
go.
and we know that.
What you need to do is like booby trap the ball. So if they pick up the whole ball, then
I tried that, but they hate the razor blades in the candy. That trick is just old.
not like that type of booby trap.
Oh,
Like
sorry. It's
slime,
a new day.
like whatever, like goofy boofy.
A whimsical prank,
Whimsical.
not a
prank.
felony.
Well, at my age, all chocolate's booby trapped anyhow, because chocolate will give you diarrhea. It turns out, so I can only eat so much chocolate these days. It's all booby trapped for me.
Okay.
So no
I think
Zingerman
that's
cakes for you then,
definitely,
huh?
like, a good
Well, I
idea,
could eat
though,
half
like,
one.
to like try and like figure out like a safe way to like prevent people from like over like taking candy from like bowls and stuff like that. I definitely think that'd be a good idea, because that way, like, you know, people wouldn't have to stay up too late just like give candy out to like children and stuff like that. But like, I just like how, you know.
I think you put a bowl out and then you go hide in the bushes, and when they dump it, you stand behind them and stand and go, "What the hell?" and scare the shit out of
Or
you.
what you could do is you could put like a diabetes brochure in the bowl as well, explaining what happens when you eat too much sugar. Then when they get home, they're like, "Mommy, what's this?" "Oh, well, it's diabetes." "Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want any more candy."
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the treat. I mean, the trick and trick or treat. I don't know that anybody tricks anybody anymore on Halloween. When I was a kid,
Oh no, not anymore.
your grandma or somebody would actually hand you either some wax or crayon or something to wax people's windows if they didn't give you a treat.
I think the trick is candy corn, honestly. I'm sorry, but that's
no,
just
you play a
nasty.
trick on the people if they didn't give you a treat. You give me
But,
a treat, or I'm going to do something bad to you.
I think sometimes like the treat would have been like the trick. Like sometimes I got like, I don't know, like packs of pennies or something like that. I
Oh, the
don't know.
UNICEF
One
stuff.
time, like when
Packs of
like it was
pennies,
a terrible
dude.
Halloween. Yeah, just
Where
like
did
those
you
little
grow up?
bags
Packs
like
of pennies?
That, like, yeah, it's not even candy. It's just like bags of pennies. Like I even remember this one time. Like I went to like this far off neighborhood with like my mom. Like when I was younger, and like I got like liquor. Like the actual
Liquor?
liquor, like those tiny little liquor bottles.
Like booze?
It
Oh,
was
like the
weird,
ones
so
off
weird.
airplanes?
I'm going trick or treating there.
I
Just
think-
interrupt. We're out of time. Do you want to plug your YouTube channel or whatever?
Oh okay. So my YouTube channel is if you search Alan the Sheriff, like you'll definitely find my YouTube. I mean, it's labeled like Alan Sheriff, but if you type in Alan the Sheriff, you'll definitely see me come up.
Okay. Anybody else have anything you want to plug?
Broken Road Comedy Tour. Look for Broke.
Are you doing it again this
And
year?
A new word, road. Broken Road. You know what? We're talking about it. Might be the Broken Road too, but still, we got 15 videos up, a lot of good content. Broken Road Comedy Tour. You can see me there saying stupid stuff.
Well, that was Creativity Wasted. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for coming. Good night, everybody. Okay.
Give me a sec for cameras, and no offense, but get the fuck out.